Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some 2D 4X game creation, which is where I am attempting to make a ridiculous 2D 4X game. Uh, we have been working on, I'm actually on, this is the 99th, I was to 100. That's about 300 hours of working on this. I originally started on Unity, now I'm using Godot. Uh, it takes place in North America. I'll go over it next time. I'll go over everything it is. But what we're at right now is where if a army token moves into another county and there's war declared, they should fight a battle. And the battle is going to be the shittiest, crappiest combat we can possibly make temporarily as like a placeholder. Everything I'm doing is in tiny little chunks, and that's a very, very most primitive way to do it. And then I move to the next thing, and I go around in a circle doing everything. And we have a big list. This is all open source. We have a big list over here of everything that we got to do. And then when I'm done with that, I move this to the bottom, and we go to the next thing, and then on and on and on here. I move this heroes up because we have some major issues with how the heroes are stacked in the game, which we'll see when we test this out in a minute. So I started a little early today. I usually start around noon, but I woke up at 7 as if it was a work day. So I figured, fuck it. I watched a movie, might as well do this. So where were we last time? Last time I was setting up every county population needed to have a rifle skill, morale, cool, which is like an attribute. And what's funny is I think I got the cool attribute from Cyberpunk like 100 years ago because I was playing Cyberpunk and I noticed it had I'm going to look it up because I'm curious. This is from the video game, though. I want the role-playing game. This probably is not going to give me anything. Table. Yeah, see, they have cool. I think I got this idea from, mine is different, but it's, I think I got the name of it from Cyberpunk back in the day, in 1992 or something. Regardless, so we added a cool attribute, which is used to like test your morale when you're under fire and stuff. And then we added a rifle skill. We're just gonna assume everyone's equipped with a rifle. We're gonna do equipment later, much later. So we're gonna have a rifle skill test, and they're currently randomly generated when you start each population gets a randomly generated rifle skill, which we actually don't even have on the list. So that's the first thing we got to do is we got to add the cool attribute to this screen if this ever starts. I feel like this computer's struggling lately. Not even lately, regularly. So on here, this is what we got to do first, is we have to have, their morale isn't going to be on here because it always is going to start at 100 in combat and then go down. But we need to add in an attributes panel, and we need to add rifle skill on here. So the attributes will just be a list. I guess we can do them horizontally. In most games it's vertically, so we probably want to change that eventually. But we need to add this in here so we can see this. So I guess that's the first step. And that will help you pick who you want to be in your army, as if they have a high rifle skill and a high cool. You might, pick someone who has a high cool because they can fight longer, blah, blah, blah. And the leader is going to be the cool. He'll be able to, well, we should probably add a leadership skill at some point, but we'll have a leadership skill that will also like help them test their cool in your army. Your army is going to be like 5 people, so it's different than armies in like CK3 or something where you have the 5,000 people or whatever. So let's go back to this panel description because this is going to be what we need to do immediately. And we set up this skill grid to we fake this out here, and in preparation for this, so we'll do. We're gonna call this rifle. I keep putting two F's there. We're gonna do this alphabetically. And we'll turn this on. And now, right now there's only 2, so the alphabetical part's pretty fucking easy. Then we're going to have to add an attributes area. So let's turn this on so we can see it. And we got our sex bool. It almost would be worth it to have an H box, or sorry, a V box in here. We have so many, it's all H box and V boxes. If I've learned anything about UI building in Godot, you just need a million H boxes and V boxes. We could do that, or we could just stick, let's do this under, above their age, above their perks actually. So let's go find their perks wherever this is. So we have a perks H box here. Above their perks, let's duplicate this. Wind, how's it going? I don't know why I'm moving this. I could rename any of them. This is going to be their attributes. Attributes. Sorry, I never pronounce anything right. So, attributes. Attributes. How's the cold? I just assume it's cold. And then we're going to put an H. We could probably just copy this H box and put it up here and rename it. Oh, well. Maybe we don't want to do that. What kind of clusterfuck have I caused here? Oh, I see what I did wrong. This should shove everything down. Negative. Yeah, no, that's not cold at all. So I don't see this because I have it turned off. There we go. And this is not gonna be. We're gonna have. I think there's 8 of them. There's 8 attributes. Attributes. And I can list them off right now. I just gotta look them up because my brain is so terrible. Where would that even be? Well, we'll go from what I remember. There's physical strength. There, see, that's all I remember. You know what? I have it printed in a book. So I created this role-playing game, a pen and paper. This is it right here. It's a pen and paper role-playing game 100 years ago. I think there's a date on this, actually. Not on this one. This is the wrong book. This is like a source book for it. It's printed in spiral bind. Here we go. Is there a date on this? No, there's no date on it. I thought there was a date on it. Here we go. It's got the attribute. And I just use these same attributes in every fucking game because they're the ones I've thought out about. All right. We're going to need 8 of these things, though. And then we're going to see how these mush. I have a feeling they're not going to mush very good. They're actually mushing pretty amazingly. I'm surprised. You know what? Let's go back, though. Let's unduplicate these. So we're going to say, oh, are we going to need 2 of these motherfuckers? I think we're going to need 2 of these motherfuckers. No, you know what? We'll do this. We'll do it shitty. Zeros are fat, which is why I use zeros all the time as my test numbers. Let's delete this thing. Then we can duplicate these. We need 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it says right there that we're on 6. Great. Perfect. This is exactly what we want. So next on the list is agility, I think. Where's my actual list? This is like let's see, a page ripped out because it's from 1992 or something. Where's my list of attributes? Oh, I guess I just have it typed out. I started work on this again like 3 years ago and like worked on it really aggressively for like 2 weeks. the tabletop thing, and then I never did anything with it again. So I have like an updated. I didn't print it out or anything because I'm not a Stone Age person. Endurance. Oh man, I'm breaking my own rules. So yeah, negative 10C. What is it at my house? It just has a symbol of a sun. That's how that's how that's how warm it is. It's a sun level. I would guess it's 50 it's 50 degrees Fahrenheit. That would be my guess. My mom bought me this cool like thermometer that it's digital and you put it at one part outside and you put one part inside, and it worked for about 6 months and then it stopped working. I assumed it was the batteries. I've switched the batteries. I've resynced it to its base. The whole works, and it just doesn't work. What are we on? Intelligence. Yeah, that's still 10C to me sounds really cold. We need awareness. Oh fuck. And then charisma. And then we got our last one is looks. That's how fuck ugly you are. All right. Then we're going to go back through all of these. Somebody in my work said, I see you're a click and drag, a click and drag selector. And I was like, what are my options? And he's like, you could just double click all the time. And I was like, you could also shut your fucking mouth. Just kidding. I was like, I guess I could do that. Charisma, we're almost done. No one's gonna know what these letters stand for, so this is gonna be awesome. A better way to do this would make it 2 lines. So say physical strength, agility, and then have another line of their actual. Man, I don't want to do that. It wouldn't be that hard right now though, because we already got this. All right, fuck. We'll do that. We'll have because like I just said, no one's gonna know what the fuck this is. Physical strength. Yeah. I mean, this whole thing's V-box, so it's it's gonna push it. So this is gonna go. It looks like the skills are gonna go on the next page here. We'll just copy that shit over there. Hopefully, I set it all up in preparation for this this contingency. And then we're going to do, you know what? Wait, go back. No, Control Z made it go away. That's not what we want. We're going to do this. Then we're going to do this. Then we're going to do, this is going to be values. And this is going to be titles. And then we're going to go back through. And then this might get kind of ugly, but ugly is okay, I guess, at this point. And then on this one, we'll change it to agility. And then this is going to be endurance. When you think about programming, you never imagine that you're just going to be typing a bunch of shit in all the time. Obviously you would think that you're going to type in some stuff, but uh, like the actual programming, but not titles and things like that's not. I mean, maybe that's someone's job specifically, but just typing in titles is not what I imagined. Charisma, and then we have our last one here, looks. Uh, what's that? Image AI tool? Is there some special thing? These don't look like they're centered. Maybe I don't have these centered. Centered? No, I copied them all from the same one. It says they're centered. Maybe it's just an optical illusion. Like this awareness looks way off to me. Let's look down. So these are just going to be a number like 100. This might be more complicated than I thought here. We might have to like force it because this is ugly. Oh, in the future, yeah. No, I actually, so I watched video from, I've talked about these guys before, futurologists. Uh, a futurologist just was talking about uh, that at some point AI is going to be awesome because it will be less time, it will give developers less time. They'll spend less time doing shit like this because you'll just tell the AI, hey man, I want 2 rows, a row that says physical, that has all the stats, and another one. Um, so it will, that we'll be spending our time writing the game over programming the game. There'll be obviously some work that needs to be done, but it will help. But then, so there's good and bad things. But yeah, we're gonna have to definitely move these skills over. All right, let's see I believe what you said is definitely correct. So we need to set a minimum size here. So how big is this one? This is the big ugly one. What happens if we said like 140 on each of these? I'm just curious. They're 135. See, I got to go back and fix every fucking one of them. I should have done this first. Whoops. No, this is right. I don't think we're going to have enough room. How wide is this thing? Will this tell me how wide you are, my friend? 857. So 107 is the biggest we can make it. So if we made it 107, this one's still going to be too big. So we probably should, is there a way to do it in this? Let me think here. I don't think we can have it. I don't think we can have it auto shrink the font. Because if we make all these 107, they're not, I don't think they're going to stick. Let's see what it looks like. Can I just select all these fucking things and make them the same size? I can. Well, it doesn't seem like that's working. No, that did not work. They're all selected, but I'm not editing them all. Well, maybe I am now. Oh, but that fucks up the whole thing. 107's too big, huh? What happens if I say 100? No, that still is moving it. My math must be bad. What was the width on this thing? 857. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do I have some sort of... It won't clip ones that are wider unless I tell it to, right? I'm just curious. Auto wrap? I wonder what that would look like. Oh God. I guess that's not bad. I mean, it's bad. What does it look like when it's not selected here? Oh, what do you got here? What's your problem? Oh, that didn't change them all. I guess there's no way to do that. I feel like I did it once. Well, let's do this. I swear I did it once. Maybe I like right-clicked or something. Eight selected. No. That also pushed this to the side, though. I don't think I set any font sizes on this. There is a small margin. Maybe I have a thing here. Separator. Because that actually kind of works there, except there is no separator. Do I have some weird... Can't remember what I did 100 years ago. It's there, separation. I thought it was empty. It's empty. There's nothing there. In overrides, it wasn't activated. Yeah, but I don't want it. I don't want a separator, do I? Let's look at this. These do too. Well, that should be okay. That's from the 107 isn't big enough. So this is because the 107 isn't big enough. So that should be fine. And they are centered now, so I'm just gonna, whatever it's doing, it's good enough. I'm not gonna mess with it, except I'm gonna fix these things. 107. Just so that these errors will shut up. Close enough. That actually looks pretty... It's not 0 until you... Oh. Well, what is it now? It doesn't tell you? Whoops, 107. There's a lot of things I feel like I'm trying to find information on stuff and I can never find it. All right, that works. And I guess this is going to be 2 lines. It's fucking fine. Who cares? All right, now we just got to move the skills over to this other panel. We're going to do this one and this one. We're going to take over to active right here, except it put it at the bottom. I need to drag these guys down here. I think I dragged them out of the skill grid. I lost my title. Where's my title? There's my title. Skills. There we go. And let's just make sure that the grid's going to still work. All right, the grid's going to still work when we have the other one. So this is ugly as shit. But ugly as shit is fine. I feel like the attribute should be at the top. Above, because, you know, and yeah, let's just put the attributes at the top. Attributes. Above age. The good thing with all these little boxes and shit is it's easy to drag these things around and fix them. Whoa. I don't know what song I'm listening to, but the lyric that just was sung was "Hop off my dick." No, I don't want you to be a fucking child. Look at that box. We want this to be above. Happened again here. Just stop. Oh my god, I had it. And I moved the thing. There we go. Jesus Christ. Alright, so now we have a bazillion more things in here. I'm going to change. Well, you know, I don't think this really matters because we have it under here. I guess I could go through and change it, but we're not going to be changing these titles. So these are the ones that we're going to be changing, which means that at the top of this thing, we're going to have to add all these fucking things in here. We can do like an array of them, I guess, but we're not going to. We're going to just put them right here. They're above age, so we need 8 of these things. How many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need one more. Physical strength, agility. What's next? Endurance. I could just put the things. Endurance. Endurance. Whoa. Intelligence. Intelligence, physical strength. Intelligence. Mental strength. I think they are. I think I just moved them above age. Yeah. I mean, originally they were up there, but I don't know. I should probably put age and sex right next to each other. But this is just, we're going to be continually adding to this. So once again, it's not like This is not a finished thing. We're just fucking around. Uh, we'll make it pretty later. The beautification process. What am I on here? Mental strength, awareness. What? I don't think I have enough of them. Charisma. Now what the fuck song am I listening to? It says that the lyrics are they trade in copper and stolen bikes. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're gonna leave these blank. These are gonna all say 100, except for why did I go through all of this? There was a reason. I needed a tribute. What was the tribute we just did? Uh, where's my county population? Cool is like a special attribute, so we haven't even got to that part. Uh, it's a special attribute that's generated from these attributes. So that's going to be a whole other thing we're going to have another list of. So I guess we didn't even need to do this yet, but we will eventually. So we'll leave those at 100 and we'll add another thing, and maybe we'll move these perks over here too because we're getting towards the bottom. So this attributes the next thing. I don't know what to call these other things. Um, and this one we'll just add a label temporarily because I don't know how many of these we're going to get. We'll just duplicate this. I guess we can't do that yet. And we'll do this. Okay, say cool. And then we'll duplicate this. No. And then we'll go like this. Go. Then we'll go number. Yeah, and we'll move perks. And we'll probably have a list of these like over here, but I don't know what we're gonna need. I don't know which ones we're gonna need. Uh, right this second. Perks, where'd you go? Perks. You're gonna be at the top here. So right here, we need this title. This looks absolutely beautiful. It's all off-centered. That's the plan, though. It's planned that way. We'll have another skill over there eventually. It really would be so much better to have the age and the sex next to each other, but we're not gonna do it right now. We're fuck it. Who cares? And then we need this cool number. I don't know why this thinks it needs to be saved. I wonder what I did to it. I was looking at it earlier. We're on. Then you know what we need to do is stick all these things in here. Or if we made this agent, I'm not. I'm going to stop thinking about it. If I made this agent sex on one line, I would probably put it above the attributes. I feel like that. I don't know. It's not that important, except the person's going to die of old age. That's the whole deal here. Okay. Now we have these 150 fucking variables. I mean, I guess you can't really get away from that. You know what I noticed yesterday is that when I type, my camera shakes, and I was thinking that maybe I need to see right there. I just bumped my table, so it's yeah. There we go again. I just moved again. It's gonna shake. Maybe I need to mount it to the wall behind my computer. Don't really want to do that, but it is an option. All right, so cool. We already had generated, I believe, here. Yeah, so cool is there. We needed cool to now get to appear when we do this. So this is going to be under here. Update description info. I should probably break these into smaller little things. Like I think I was saying that yesterday because this is a fucking mess. Yeah, this is some ugly ass shit. Oh, right. I remember what I was saying yesterday. I was saying this. It should probably be a switch too. Well, good to hear. When it's when I was like, I spot check my videos like the next day or later that day, and I was like, what is going on with my, like, there was this vibration on me. It looked like I was. It doesn't matter. But okay, so this is below sex construction skill. Here we go. So we got to do rifle skill dot. Did I really just not put label at the end of this? Like, I can't follow my own rules for fucking 5 minutes? And now I changed that variable name. Did I not put rifle skill on here after all that? See, this one doesn't have label at the end either. Jesus fucking Christ. It's got to be consistent. It's a sex label. Look at this. These don't have, oh my God. And I don't have, I guess that, why do I need the title? Oh, I need the title in there because I get rid of it at some point. If we're fixing shit, let's fix shit. You know what I mean? Okay. Then we need to we need to add in another one. We're gonna get to the combat hopefully here. We just need to be able to see this shit somewhere. And what I'm thinking, oh, I didn't, why? And why aren't we seeing my errors here? Equals. And then, yeah, I should have done the other rename. I don't know why I did not do that. It would have saved me these few things here. And then cool needs to be added. So we're going to put right here. See, I should turn this into another method that just says like update skills. In fact, we'll do that right now. It will be better just to have. Oh, except we don't. We got to add in a county population. And then up here, I think it'll just be easier to find. Oh, I don't know where I put it. And adjust things. Leader of people perks. So it's under perks. All right. And then we're going to have update attributes somewhere. Where is that going to be under? That's going to be under titles. So right underneath here. Fuck you. Typing. And then we're going to generate this thing. We don't even have this yet. This is going to be to string because I was thinking, are we going to put words in front of it? But we're not going to put words in front of it. We're going to leave. It's just going to be a number, just like these. We forgot a name. I forgot a namespace. Namespace player space. Next week end is my goal to implement the county generation. I don't think I'm already gonna say I'm not gonna do that, but that's my goal, and that's gonna be a bloodbath when I'm gonna move all my code from the other one. Oh, because it's like a test thing. Okay, over to here, and we're gonna see how the county generate. There's just like many small things I gotta do to make sure it works. So we have problems because I renamed a bunch of shit and then I didn't add it back in here. Let's see. Let me double check something over here. How much time have I? I've already went 45 minutes. I haven't even got the first step done. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty brutal, I think, because though I got, I have things working, it doesn't mean that, that I have to move all these variables and change things. I need this to go over here. What do we want? We need age label. We need sex label. We need construction skill, which is here. We need rifle skill. We need current activity. We need next activity. All right. Joker, how's it going? Let's try this for the second time. All right, so this person has a 23 cool, which is awful. You can get between 20 and 80. They have a 26 construction and a 42 rifle. Probably would not want to hire them. What did their leader get here? 50. It's okay. This person's okay. This person's much better. But right now, none of that shit applies to anything. So let's make it apply to something. And I was thinking right before, like literally as I was about to hit the start stream button, I don't think this should be in the token movement. I think this should probably be in some sort of battle script, which we don't have currently. And we probably need one. We could put it in token movement, but that seems weird. I think we probably want it to be. We can probably get rid of some of this shit too. We don't need this all. This is what we do need though today. And I also was thinking about that issue yesterday where there was two tokens moving at the same time when I right clicked, and from the way I have it programmed, that should be impossible, and that means that I'm fundamentally misunderstanding something, and the only thing I could think of that I was fundamentally misunderstanding, I mean, I'm sure it could be a lot of things, but what I was thinking is, so this token movement script should be an instance of this script, but I feel like it's not. I feel like they're all using the same script, so when I'm changing a variable, it's actually changing it on all of them, which is weird. I'm not going to worry about it right now, but I need to remember that if everything else fucking gets all cluster fucked. We're actually going to need that. We don't need this anymore. Battle control. We could put it under the battle control, but the battle control is under every county has its own battle control. Maybe we do want it underneath that. What is that emoji? I don't even know what that is. So the battle control is under every county. Maybe we do want it under that. So this is the control that is down here. Let's minimize or whatever it's called. Let's shrink this shit. It's under here, and it's this thing. So that would have the battle on it. That might be okay, actually. So the move it goes to there. Let's try it and we'll see if we want to change it later, because that would be controlled and the county would control the battles. And eventually, yeah, we definitely want it disconnected from the tokens, because the tokens could run away and like another group could join in and there could be three-way battles. So let's go back to this token movement. We need to move this start battle. We need to like tell the county that it's in to start a battle. So let's break this and then we'll test to make sure that our brokenness is working the same as it was yesterday. So battle control, where the fuck are you? So you're going to be in every... Yeah, so like this isn't going to work anymore. So we need to pass in who's the attacker probably, and then the defender will get from the... I think this is actually... No, wait, how are we getting the defender last time? Yeah, so this will work. We'll just need to pass in the attacker, I think. Actually, how are we storing these? How are we storing these when they reach the destination? Before we were adding them to the stacker. I think we need a county. in our select county, or county data actually. You know, speaking of emojis that I don't know, we switched to Teams at my work, and Teams is very into the emojis, which seems weird to me. But so people have been sending emojis more often, and I've been using emojis more often because I feel like sometimes people think I'm angry about like their requests. They'll be like, they'll ask for help, IT help, and I'll reply back like, you know, yeah, I'll get to you when I have a chance. But that can be taken different ways. I'll get to you when I have a chance, motherfucker. So I've been using more emojis, and so other people have been using emojis back, and I don't even know what 90% of the emojis they use back. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I've been sending a lobster a lot, and I hope that doesn't have some other connotation. Just the lobster emoji. Um, so I don't know, it's like some weird sex thing. I'm soliciting all my coworkers with lobster sex. Lord Mac, how's it going? So what I was thinking here is probably a problem is we need to keep track of hostile armies in the county data. Like who's moving around. Did we do this already? We have a battles list. So currently when a army gets to a county, it gets added to the current county's population, even a hostile one. Exactly. Like that one right there. Uh-oh. I don't want to be sending Jordan Peterson shit to people. So I think we need another list that is of like visitors. So I think we need two. Oh, it's mocking him? I'm fine with mocking him. I think we need two lists. We need like a visiting population list, because otherwise they're gonna get they're gonna get put to work. If they're hanging out in there and the next day passes, they're gonna be put into the queue for work, and then next thing they know, the visiting diplomat is making fucking fishing on the docks or whatever. So I think we need a couple of lists here. We need a visiting population list. This is why I'm doing everything in little pieces, because I don't know what I need in the future. Visiting population. And then we're going to need another list of hostile. Man, we're going to have to keep checking. So do we want hostile? You know what? Visiting population will actually work for now. Oh, you know what I was thinking? After I stopped streaming yesterday, Lord Mac, when we were talking about equipment, the way I actually want to do equipment and guns and stuff is the way Hearts of Iron 4 does equipment. I really like how they do the, there's like basic infantry equipment. So I want to have like so I don't want to do equipment where it's like we keep track of every binocular and all that stuff. It would just be like a basic infantry equipment, but there'd be old world ones, from the old world, and then there'd be guns from the old world. So it's not going to be like we're going to keep track of like hunting rifles versus assault rifles and stuff. But then they would get upgraded. Yeah, exactly. Joker, I would hope with I would hope these number of variables would not slow down the game. But now I'm going to worry about it. Thanks for bringing it up. You didn't even see this one, I don't think. Um, Wherever it went, I don't know where I put it. It's gone. I closed it. Um, so this I'm gonna save right now. But back to uh, thinking about Hearts of Iron's equipment. My brain got totally sidetracked. It's like, yeah, I love how they do that. For some reason, I really like how Hearts of Iron 4 does equipment, and like you got to produce it like your basic. Victoria kind of tries to do a similar. Victoria 3 kind of tries to do a similar thing, but for some reason it just doesn't work. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. All right, so we got that list done though. So now we got to change this. This has to change because I didn't even think about the fact that if you have a person, let's see if that happens while I just added that list. Let's see if we can run this and we won't get any errors. And if we just move a person over, if he'll all get put to work, because I bet you they would. The game is paused. We're going to recruit this person. No, not as an army leader. No. That was a mistake. Just as a normal aide. Oh, wait, but aides don't get put to work currently. But they're still going to... So let's look at this population. Oh, man, bad roll for these guys. There's only 2 people living here. Rose, I want you to be spawned and then move down here. Yeah, so this was wrong the whole time, and I just never noticed. We don't want them to join the population of this. I definitely want to have a description, because back to the laser conversation. What does this say down here? Wonder why I'm doing this. Well, I guess not worry about it. So yeah, definitely have like a show what's in there, and then you're gonna need the equipment or need the resources to make that type of equipment. I'm just making some shit up here. Let's say you don't have enough glass, you can't make binoculars, so then you're gonna make. So part of the whole game idea in my mind is that at the beginning you start out with all this equipment and you start using it up, and then you got to produce new equipment, and so then the new equipment's going to be shittier than the old equipment. So you're going to have a period where it goes downhill, and then you're going to go back up. As you relearn stuff, you can get books from the library or whatever. And then if you think of like the newest Mad Max movie where there's like Bullet Town, there's going to be certain areas where it's going to be easier to produce like guns and bullets and stuff. So you would make your own Bullet Town or whatever, and then ship that shit out to your other counties. That's the goal in my mind. Once again, I have ridiculous expectations of myself, and I can barely get this shit to work at my current state. So dreams. My friend the other day said, like, you're like really confident about stuff, and I was like, me? I was like, what the fuck's he talking about? And this is it's foolishly confident. I think there's a word for that. Um, uh, oh, definitely. I was just using that as like an example I pulled out of my ass, but uh, so let's see. When they get so currently have this, they're being added to the population when token movement, they reach the destination, and we currently have this possible war thing, but we also need to check if so we need to check some. So this is right, and this should always go onto the token stacker. But what does the token stacker do? And this is going to change. Like, this is the next thing after we get combat to work, because this is all fucked up and it's ugly and it doesn't work and it's stupid and I hate it. Uh, I think with the level, back to the computer resources, I think the level of what I'm doing is currently pretty non. But my fear is when I add to have the total of like 500 counties, it's gonna be an issue. Like, that's when I'm gonna start worrying. I've read a bunch of stuff. This is back to Paradox games, where like a lot of like Stellaris and stuff, late game things start to fall apart, and it's like testing that seems like that would be hard to do because you'd have to play the game. To get it that far. So, like, let's say it's 50 hours in, you're going to have the playtester play 50 hours in, like 25 have a save game, but then if you change a variable and it breaks the save game, you got to do another 50-hour run. And maybe they don't, maybe they never test it that far out. They just hope, fingers crossed. Okay, so this is getting added to the hero county populations, which is not what we want to do. We want to add this so if it's an army leader, it does this, but then we need to have, well, we could want it to add here, but we also need to check the faction thing. And we also need to make sure that do we have the hero even, does the county population even know what faction they're in? It does. So this is, I think we added that last time. So reach destination, we need to go like this. Check to see if they are in friendly territory or not. If not, then join the visiting list. So we talked about that a little bit, the multi-core, the threading and all that. I don't have any clue how to do that in Godot. I'm going to probably have to learn at some point. Fucking learning. I think Joker was actually talking about that. Maybe it was Wind. I don't know. We were talking about it for something back in the day. So what are we passing in here? Select token. Select token is okay. So county population. If county population dot faction data is equal to county data. I see county data right there. I guess we got to do select county data dot county faction data. If they're in their own spot, this needs to go in here. Else, I guess we'll just copy this whole thing and edit it. This is going to go to the visiting. Let's go through my brain again, make sure this is right. So check to see if the county population, which is the name of the data of this token, if their faction equals the county's faction, then you get added to the hero. Otherwise, it goes into the visiting thing. And we'll save this. We'll test this. Then I'm going to take a quick break. It's weird too because I swear like multi-core threading and shit has been around for at least 10 years. So I'm surprised that they don't work on that more. We'll just have Janice here. We don't need to do that. We'll just have Janice move in here and we'll see what happens. The current population's 3. And the population didn't change, but that also could be because there's some other issue. So if we can't look at the population there. Well, let's move her to here. And so it shouldn't update the population. I don't know how the fuck we're gonna test this. Go back over here, lady. And Janice is here, but that doesn't tell us anything. Hmm. Um. I mean, it's not adding her to the population, which I guess is right. All right. I'm gonna take a quick break, and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. All right, I'm back. When I got up, I glanced over at the cat, which is sitting there watching my every move, seeing what I'm doing. Blood, how's it going? Let me turn on my break timer. If I can click it and then turn my music back on that you guys can't hear. All right, what were we doing? I think that's in the right spot. We could just print this, and we would see. That would be one way to test it, I suppose. Joshua is in Tillamook. Joshua Washington. Josh is my name. I don't go by Joshua. Unless, my mom's yelling at me. All right. So that is going to the, I guess it's in the right spot. Now we got to go back to this token movement, wherever this is. We don't need the token spawner, I don't think. We're still in token movement. So we don't want it added to the token stacker if they're an army. We want it to go down to here. We want to turn off their move. What is this shit doing? Where we want it to show its go to the right location. Then we want to copy over this thing. We want this thing to happen. And we want... I guess we don't have the county population here yet. We do kind of. We'll put that in there. So this will be added. So what is this? What's this do? Wait, is this doing this right? We don't want this. No, we want, wait, what the fuck is this doing? We want this here. So it's going to add this. So if it's an army leader, it gets added to the visiting list. I don't like this at all. I'm going to change this because currently this is only checking for the player thing. And we want to have the AI able to do this. And we have in the county data, we have a list of battles. So we can go through the list of battles. For each war what are we doing with this list of battles then? What the fuck is this thing? Oh, I must have said, what is this battle thing? Is this just some empty thing? Okay, maybe we want this to have, not in battle control, maybe we want this to have the other code. So let's move this battle. I don't think I'm going to pin it just now. Maybe actually, no. Let's pin this. Let's pin this. Select county we're going to need. Select token. All these we probably will need. So we're checking for each war in here. I think there's a better way to... Okay, then we were going to create a battle is what we were going to do. I'm remembering from 2 weeks ago, and that's how shitty my memory is. That was the plan, is we were going to create a battle. Then I wrote this other shit yesterday, forgetting that was the plan. So let's go through this again. If it's an army leader, so we're going to skip that shit. It's just sitting there floating in the void at this point. We add it to the visiting population, which is what we want. I guess we could put like visiting armies or something here. but visiting population is fine for right now. And then for each war in the thing, what were we going down and doing? We're making sure that they're at war is what we're doing. It was a rhetorical question. We're making sure that they're actually at war. Um, so we're making sure that the factions are at war. Then we're going to add in a new. So this step. Okay, this is what we're going to do here. We are going to move this to this battle script. Is this a resource or is this what is this thing? It's a public class. And it currently only has the battle location. All right, we are going to leave it here then. This is why I got it. Like, I know I've said this 3 times today. Uh, Baby steps for these new things, these new features. I guess they're features. So then we do need a new battle. New. Is this a list? Let's look at our war thing. I forgot I set up all this war shit. Yeah, this is a list of battles. Okay, so I think I can just put in here. How are we doing that? What is this battle thing? Where's war? Pin this war over here. Move this over one. It's a county data, huh? I mean, that's probably a good idea. We have it right here. If select county. What are we doing with this? Okay, I see what we're doing here. This is going to be. I'm doing this wrong. I think I gotta. Yes, it does. Oh, no, it doesn't. It doesn't have a. I can never remember how to do this shit, and it seems like something I should know how to do because I've done it so many times. Public battle. Okay, that's all it is. It's public battle. Yep, and it wrote it all for me. I didn't even have to look over there. And then we go over, and then we add this. We're gonna have to type this correctly though. Wars, battle. What did we do? Jesus Christ, I can't remember. Now this is county data, and I haven't here. We'll pin this too. Pretty sure everything's gonna be pinned at the top here. A list of battles. So that will add the battle to that. But under faction data, wherever the fuck that is, we have a list of the wars and we have a list of the battles. This is kind of convoluted. Like, this is right, but I don't think we want to have... So we have a list of battles in the war thing, and then we also have it underneath the counties. I feel like that's unnecessary. I don't think this is used yet. So let's comment this out, and then we'll wait. And see if we need that. I think we do need it in the counties. But we can go through the list of counties the faction owns, I think. Yeah, we can go through the list of counties the faction owns, and then we can get that information if we need it. It will, back to the, late game stuff, it will bog down shit if we have to go through a list of 400 counties, but we can fix that as well. We can have another list of counties in battle or something, and baby steps. And so back to token movement. So we go into the new battle is started. We add the location. We just need to know the location of where the battles are at some point for something. And the county data has it. Then we need to start the battle. But this should be under the battle control, which I don't think we have stored that anywhere unless I did. I did store it. Okay. So yesterday I did that. So this is actually going to be... And then we got to make this public. Then, what's your problem now? I know what the problem is. The problem is we got to go to here. I wonder if that's going to bust something else. It is. Well, no, I guess it fixed itself. All right, so then this will run the start battle that is on this battle control, but where this battle control doesn't have all the information I don't think it needs. All right, so first off, we don't need this. Second off, this is no longer going to work. We're going to need, this is why we did that whole fucking list bullshit, was to fix this thing. So the attacking thing is going to be this. And we actually don't need this either. We're going to fix this. This is just get parent. I just double checking, but I'm pretty sure. What are you fucking attached to? Oh, it's not get parent. It's get parent, get parent. And then county population. This is going to be attacker. Except I spelled this wrong when I fixed this. Defender. In visiting population. So it's going to go through each county population, which currently will only be one, but and it's going to check if the county population there's an army leader and if the token is not null, which means it has to be spawned. Right now it has to be spawned. We couldn't have gotten the fucking thing there without it being spawned, but we're going to leave this check in here just to make sure that that is what is going on. So then the attacker select token is going to be, this thing doesn't work anymore. This can go away. Except we need it for this. And then defender token, we need to hide the attacker token again. And then battle control is which we're fucking in that right now. We're gonna go attacker token. This is much better than it was before. What the fuck is the problem? Attackers. Defenders, I guess. I don't like that anymore now either. Defender. Attacker. We don't need the possession. And what the fuck is this? This is select. Yeah, thank you. And then we break out. What is this shit? You can go away. Battle control is show. We can just show we're in the battle control, so we can show that. Battle control, attackers. What is this fucking shit? Attacker. We're not doing that up here. We're doing that right. What is going on here too? Uh, attacker. We already did this though up here. I guess we had this for some other bullshit earlier. And then this should also be hidden already. Wonder why I put this at the bottom. I'm gonna leave it there. So the goal of this, did I leave that control on? I don't think I did. The goal of this is when we move this to here, that control should pop up again with the two tokens that look the same once again. That is the, whoops, I forgot to turn this into an army leader. When he moves, it should declare war. Then when we declare war, this thing immediately pops up. And then we got a problem here. Oh, I renamed some shit. So let's go back to look to make sure. Capital Sprite. Where are we here? I know what the problem is. See, this is once again the problem with this. These all being the four of their own little individual fucking scenes is when I make a change like this, it's all fucked up. See, here's the problem. We need defender wreck here, and I gotta go fix them in all four. But I do have this plan. I was talking about this earlier. Uh, Wind created this not generic game system thing where it generates each county, and I've been taking his code and adapting it to this. And I know I said I was going to work on every time I work on this, it's going to be I stream it, but on something like where I have to learn something completely from scratch, that doesn't really count. Look at all this weird shit. So I adapted some of the code, and it somewhat works on my side. And I'm almost to the point where I'm going to convert it over to this. And so we'll have like another scene where we generate the counties, and then once the counties are generated, we won't have this issue where I have to change every single one and hope that I didn't fuck something up. You're army leader. This guy, what's his name? Judith Peterson. Is that a capital J? I guess it is. All right, so now we're at the spot we were yesterday, where this, their new battle has started, blah, blah, blah. Just like an early version of... All right, so this all goes like an early version of CK2. There's a thing down there. And then we've also added in all the other things we needed. Except we need to set... There is one more thing we got to do here. We got to do... So up here, we're going to need... I don't know what I made these things. They're probably just a label, but yeah, they're just a label. We don't need this up anymore. Do I need this public? I don't need this shit public anymore. Then we have a label here. Morale label. Why do I always have to typos everything? Defender more label. All right, then we're gonna, so I don't forget later, we're gonna add this shit right now. Then yeah, so what this does is it only when it gets to the first, so like let's say there's a bunch of people in that visitors list, it's gonna stop at the first leader that it finds that is an army one. So if there's multiple armies, well, you're only gonna get one battle. I don't know how we're gonna deal with that later. We're gonna probably need a battle control. We'll probably have to instantiate a battle control for every leader that's in there is what we're going to have to do. Let's make a note of that. War. And then we'll add in here, have battles with multiple leaders on each side. And then we're going to have another one, have battles that have more than 2 factions. Because currently it's only 2. Yeah, exactly, Lord Mac. That's the other thing that we have to have. Because currently it will only work with 2. If there's a third one, the whole game implodes, and then we give up. Start an easier game to make. Uh, so these are going to have to work for the next round when we get over there, because there's also we have to make it so that the AI can initiate battles. Right now, the AI can't do shit besides assign buildings. They can't even assign buildings. They can assign people. I'm not sure how we're going to do that. So one of the things I don't like about, so I've mentioned this in other streams. I love CK2 a lot and CK3 somewhat a lot. But one of the things I don't like in CK3, I guess, is when you go into the same county as like a neutral army, you guys just kind of ignore each other. I feel like there should be something else going on. Like sometimes you'll like pass by and be like, man, I really wish I could attack that fucking guy. You know what I mean? Like it will be like he's neutral and we're not at war, but I would like to attack, and then go to war because the guy's hanging out here. And if I could just kill him and his whole family, then I would own So I want like stuff like that. And then like maybe there's temporary alliances. Like if there's two people hanging out in the same and you're just wandering by, like maybe you could join in. So I want to do stuff like that, but that's so far down the road. But yeah, there definitely has to be more than just two battles. So in the next round, or two sides, battles with multiple leaders on each side, and then we have battles with more than two factions. Because currently it's only two factions. So the other thing we need to update though here is so I definitely want to do that. So one of the inspirations of this game is there's a English TV show called Survivors from the 70s. If you haven't seen it, you should go pirate it. And when I say pirate it, I mean don't pirate it, but then pirate it. But you should never pirate something. You can't find it anywhere. But there's this episode in that where there's this it's post-apocalyptic, a disease has wiped everyone out. Like 1 in 1,000 people survive or something. But there's this one episode where there's this group of like 10 people who are living in this old empty lord's manor in England, and they're getting terrorized by one guy with a rifle out in the trees. So every time they do anything, someone takes pot shots at them with a rifle. And I really like that idea of just like having the battles being not so like you can move in a group, an army. That's like why I keep wanting to attach people to an army. An army that, yeah, they're under siege, but they're more of like getting harassed. So you could like move an army into another county that wouldn't be an attacking army, but would be more of like an infiltration army or something like that. Because when I'm using the term army, I'm talking about like 5 guys. And I want to do something like that. But right now we're doing the most basic. They just, you declare, if you try to go into another place, it declares war. And then you go in, definitely raiding too. So after this, we're going to we have to update the morale label. Defender, select token, county population, string. What's your problem here? Let's put it up here. And especially with especially with how small the armies are, I think you're gonna have to do different. Like we can't have full out attacks. I also want to do like if you do an attack, it's gonna have you'll have different. I don't want to call them doctrines. This is another Hearts of Iron type thing, but I don't want to call them doctrines. I want to call them like ideas or something. I gotta stop this music. I don't know what this is, but it's awful. I gotta stop it and tell it. I know you guys can't hear it. I gotta remove it from my list so that I never hear it again. Um, so at the beginning, like if you like, so back to this whole thing. This is back to this. If I hopefully this will play. Now I gotta fix this first. Let me fix this. Yeah, attacker select token, county population, morale. Basically, if you put someone in charge of your army who doesn't have any of these ideas, this is my plan at least. Like if you just have like some idiot in charge of your army, his attack strategy will just be to walk forward. You know how you always in movies they always have they'll be like show like an army attacking the other one, and it's just a line of people walking forward shooting their assault rifles, which I think is fucking idiotic. And so many movies do that because there's no way in hell that would ever happen after the first battle, like the first couple battles. But that's the plan: is if the person has no knowledge of any of these ideas or whatever, they would just march forward like a moron, and then the defenders would shoot them. But then you would have these different ideas, which would be like different like flanking and stuff, and then they would play these different ideas as combat goes on. Um, so hopefully, what was this error that it? Oh, no, that's right. What do you want? What's your problem? Oh, I guess I just hadn't saved it or something at that point. But then, like I said, this is we're doing the basics. Got to get the shitty, crappy battle to happen. Then we're gonna go from there. I gotta turn you into an army. I actually don't like how I have to do all these steps. I think maybe I need an army convert to army button over here. Now that I've done this step 150 times. Okay, then we got a bug here. Um, yep. We're gonna do this 4 fucking times. Once again, don't do it this way. If you learned anything from this, is do the thing they were telling me many streams ago. Inheriting things. Seen inheritance. Or I could have just went into like cowlets or whatever. The other thing I want, because you're not like inventing everything from the scratch, is them to get research from libraries and stuff. Recruit you as a leader, spawn you. That was weird. I felt like I clicked next to that. All right, so now we have 100 and 100. Everything's set for the next step, which is war. I also want this to be clickable. So we need to fix that first. We need another panel. So when we click this, it will open up a panel and we can look at what is going on with the war. And this is wanting to be one of those things where I was thinking that something bad happened there, but nope, we spent 500 to get this guy. I think we want this panel to not pause because you're going to want to sit there and watch the war. So we're going to need another panel because we don't have enough panels. We have research, declare war, events. I think the next one should be. Let's actually. Is this thing working right? No, I think that's right. We're going to duplicate this. It's not going to be nearly as complicated, but I guess this is a battle description. No, it's like a battle log. And then we're going to go. We don't need any. Well, we need that. We don't need this shit, though. We might. Well, let's see what we need first. So this is gonna say battle log. Let's see what we need. Let's turn off everything currently. Can I just right click and turn off a bunch of shit? Because there's like a million things here. I guess none of that. I was trying all the, control, shift, click, all that stuff. I don't want to do all these. I'm too lazy for that shit. Let's Google it. What is that called? Hide all? Godot? Hide all? Hmm. I guess we don't have to hide them all. We just have to hide the big ones. This one still needs to exist. This one. Okay, so this is the basic point we need to be at. And we do need an H box. We need this to show. I guess we'll just do this, whatever. We'll just wing it. This needs to be. I didn't follow my own rules here either. This is the battle log. This container, I believe, let's turn it on. I believe this margin container pushes it down so it's below here. So when we have an H box, we want that. We also want a left container. That's the right container, but it's because the right container is closed. Where's my right container? No, the right container is on. We can see these buttons. The buttons we don't need. I'm pretty sure ever. We'll close them for now. It's just kind of a pain to recreate a bunch of shit. And then there's going to be on the left side of this container, we're going to need a title. Is it going to be a V-box? We're going to do a V-box, but it's going to be it's going to be like the combat log. Probably if we just deleted everything below this. What is this texture rack? Yeah, if we deleted everything below this, we would be in okay shape here. And then everything below. Here, hopefully. And then we're gonna hope we just deleted that from the right thing. Oh no, I deleted my population description. Okay. Uh, we have that title, so then we're gonna need another title that I suppose this is gonna say, I'm gonna say Defender. See, this is why I wanted to copy all that shit and just edit the ones I currently had. All right, that one's Defender, and I think I was making these 24 or some shit. Except that's the same. Well, you know what? Fuck it. Okay, I'll make it 20. I'm arguing with myself. Then we can just make a duplicate this, and we can put it over here. Uh-oh. I deleted too much. No, I didn't. We're fine. Yes, I did. VBox. There we go. It was just turned off. Everything's fine. Attacker. One day I'll be done with all of these UI shit. But when that's done, I'll probably be done with the whole game. All right, so we have the two things here. Then we need to put in like the combat log, so it's gonna print out stuff and it's gonna fill up as it goes. But then it needs to delete the top one. So like what it's gonna do is it's gonna be like, the attacker attacks, and then the defender defends. No, the defender's just gonna attack, and then the attacker's gonna attack, then the defender's gonna attack, and it's just gonna slowly fill up the thing. And then when it gets full, it will delete the topmost. So how the fuck did I do that with my event log? Oh yeah, this was a nightmare. I forgot. I just have a VBox container. What does the code look like? Some of this was written by ChatGPT back in the day, 6 months ago. All right, so this is not as complicated. Well, it's not. It's funny is every time I look at this, I find like, I guess except for this time, I find lines of code that I didn't need. Like ChatGPT had like whole things that I was like, what is this? This doesn't actually do anything. And then I would delete it and everything would keep working exactly. And I don't know if it's like I mushed two things together and all right, that is not very helpful. It seems there's it's just, you just delete the ones at the top. So what we're going to need is a label. It's literally just going to be a label, I think. Let's make sure that this is the H box. This is the V box. It says defenders. So we're going to have a new label here. And we'll just make sure it works first. We just want a normal plain old combat turn label, and then we'll put some garbage in here and we'll center it up. Do we want it centered? Let's put it on the left side, and then we'll put the attacker on the right side. No, we'll just center it, because then I would have to have two different ones or change shit, and I'm too lazy to do that. We'll just center it up. And then we'll make a bunch of these to make sure that it's working right. Works perfectly. We're going to copy this down to some sort of UI scene thing. UI scenes. Come here. Come here, motherfucker. Combat. Turn label. And then we're going to we're going to remove this script. And then we're going to have a new script on here. And then we're going to move this, though. I'm not sure. We're not going to need this. We're not going to need this. We might need ready, so I'm going to leave that there. We're definitely not going to need this, though. Oh, I'm going to cut. Cut. There we go. Retraining myself. I'm wondering, like, because you could be able to close this and then go do other stuff and reopen it to check on it again. And I'm wondering if maybe we don't instantiate it every time. We just let it run and it could be filling it up. But we can't do that, because if there's more than one battle, you would want to click on the other. We'd have to instantiate. Except, all right, so we're gonna have to store a combat log somewhere, like a list of strings that would fill up and delete. That's what we're gonna have to do. So it will be a little bit more. Was that what I was doing over here with this other? It doesn't fucking matter. That's what we're gonna have to do. So, or I guess we can do an array of strings. I don't know. No, because we're gonna be adding and deleting, and arrays don't like that shit. So let's double check also while we're here. Let's copy this one and let's make sure that this one works on this side too. It does. Okay. I'm gonna put it left. Except that's the right, and then we're gonna do left, just so we know if something weird's going on, we're getting to the right spot or whatever. Then we're gonna need this first off, we're gonna need this left VBox container, private export, private VBox container, left VBox. And then right, we might as well put them in there before I forget. Oh, there's been a bunch of chat and I haven't even, I keep doing this. If I like move the chat a tiny bit, I can't see it. I mean, it's happening, but my screen doesn't scroll on this new thing. And I didn't see like all of. I was like, I noticed that my chat bar was getting smaller. I wish it would just go back down to the bottom. Now there's like 500 chat messages that I've missed. And where was I? Where were we? The field being stronger and less developed. So that's the other thing. There's definitely not going to be internet but there could be computers, and that can be. So one of the things that I want to do, I don't want to go far as Fallout, but have like one side, like you can pick to go like hardcore into technology, because I was mentioning like the druid thing, that once again, this is with my ridiculous ideas, uh, ridiculous feature creep. If you went druid, you wouldn't go like into technology, you'd go into like summoning animals and having Trents fight on your side, but you could also go technology and you can start repairing and fixing the internet and hydroelectricity and stuff like that. Uh, and so definitely no internet, no cell phones, but I do want to have shortwave radios. And the reason why I want that is because I want an in-game reason why you can communicate with people who aren't in your counties. And what I mean is like if you send someone to the next county over, in reality, you wouldn't be able to communicate with them in real time, and you'd have to like wait for a messenger to come back and forth. And I don't want to do that. I mean, maybe we could do it. Um, so I want to have it where you have like shortwave radios or whatever, and you're communicating that way. And maybe that would even be like a thing where those would have like a blackout or something. Um, so you couldn't control someone in in another county. But I was thinking of like, I mean, it's not every other game allows you to control stuff that isn't in your counties, but I just wanted an in-game reason for it. So they have like, you know, powerful shortwave radios that they're communicating with. I don't know that they found. That's just I don't want to do cell phones because then you'd have to do cell phone towers and shit. And cell phone towers, holy fuck, those would fall apart. I feel like cell phone towers would fall apart completely. Um, so one day, once back to the perfect world, I would like the combat to be like awesome, like Total War, where it goes to another map and you fight an actual battle. But even that's like so far out. This is just gonna be more like CK2, I guess, where it's printing out stuff. It's gonna roll things. Um, right now, it's gonna be really shitty, but we're gonna get to the less shitty stuff eventually. So I got these things here, and I have my prefab for this. So I think we're now to putting the battle. Well, I guess we got to close this. We're now to actually implementing the battle. I guess I was overly optimistic this morning when I made my title. I should know better. So battle control. This is the start of the battle. And then oh, I see what you mean. Like being able to select their tactics over just having them fight on their own when you get to watch. Um, that's a good idea. Events and battles. I actually wasn't thinking about having events and battles, but I want to do like have dynamic events and stuff, of course. Let's throw another feature in here. Um, but events and battles are actually pretty good. Like if like there might be times to retreat early, and a human would be able to detect that probably better than the AI. You know what I mean? Like, um, so this thing, do we really want it to control that? We do. We want this to control this thing, and we also want to have it so that this thing's a button. And I don't have this as a button, I don't think. Let's see what this looks like. Is this a button? No, this is just a control. So I fucked this whole thing up. We want a button to be here. Let's turn this on. This needs to be a button. I definitely want conflicts with leaders, because that's one of the whole things is back to like the CK3 or 2 or 3 influences. I want your subordinates to have desires of maybe being their own leader or whatever. So I love Dominions 5, but your leaders are just like these kind of things that sit there They don't have any. They just do whatever. I kind of want to use some of like I want to have like the Dominions 5 influence, but I want your leaders to be um, more live than Dominions 5 or Dominions 6. I know Dominions 6 isn't out yet, but I'm going to already tell you that it's going to be the same as Dominions 5. There's going to be nothing new about it. There's going to be, sorry, there's going to be one tiny thing that's new. Can we just make you as big as the control? We can, so maybe this isn't the end of the world. I don't want it. I don't want text on it. I just want the whole thing to be a button. And I can't remember if this is underneath. It shouldn't actually matter because we could have this mouse pass through. We'd have this control ignore it, and then this button. It doesn't matter, like I said, if it's on the top or the bottom. And then what we'll do is we'll put a signal in here. And then it should, we'll just do right now. Miles, how's it going? And we'll just do a GD print real quick. What is this thing? Why is this in select county? This is not going to go in select county. This is going to go battle control clicked. And yeah, or idiotic. I was thinking more idiotic commanders where you're like, oh my god, you're walking forward into a machine gun nest, and that'll be one of the things you wouldn't know like until you get there. That it depends on your it depends on like your scouting ability. Like you could send a diplomat in there so you could know. Yeah, like with the vampire faction that I'm keep saying I'm gonna add at some point. It's so far away. They would like be able to telecommunicate or telepathy back to their master, their vampire, which would be you. You would send like a vampire. Same with like the other world shit. At this point, it's all like it's that whole part of the game is fantasy. In my brain. This is going to the wrong place. I needed to actually go to here. Definitely I want the vampires to only work at night. So many games, movies, TV shows have vampire armies moving around during the day. And you could do that, but they'd have to be in like their coffin or in some sort of enclosed thing. And I find that it makes vampires too powerful if they can fight during the day. Especially if like they just have like their armor is like a gray sheet that they're able to see through, and they're able to resist the sun that way. And then we're just going to pretend the moonlight is not sunlight in this world and in all vampire worlds. What was I going to? I was going to the battle control. So this needs to be here. And then let's close this thing. Actually, let's leave this open and make sure. Which one am I on? Cowlitz. I was just wanted to make sure that this button worked, and it's not working. The time is paused, though. Yeah, the button's not working. What am I doing here? Let's edit this. Battle control. Battle control has the button up. Button up. That looks right. I don't think this button is set right. It looks like it covers the whole thing, but it's on like the bottom. I wonder if these other mouse are blocking it. Let's put the button on the top of this. You don't want to scroll down for me there? Oh, I guess that's the bottom. Let's put this here. Oh, but now we got to make it so that we can see through it easier. Or we could make all of these, they could all, well, let's just put it on top and figure out. I can never remember how to make this thing clear. There's like a color thing somewhere. I think Moonlight, I mean, I know Moonlight's much less intense, but there's the mythology, I feel like, with vampires is that the slightest touch of sunlight, burns a hole in their face or whatever, here we go. We want that to be like that. Uh, then we'll save this. Then we'll do this. I mean, there's the different mythologies, like the Anne Rice one. As they age, I think they can resist uh, sunlight more. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm over my 2 hour mark. I want to get the combat at least. At least I want one attack to happen today. I'm hoping it only leaves me 50 minutes, but I think I can do it. All right, I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. So crows used to hang out in my backyard all the time. And then this cat started hanging out, so they stopped hanging out. Makes sense, they don't want to get eaten. But one of them just came and landed in wanted some peanuts, so I had to stop and feed the crow some peanuts. So in the battle control thing, we're gonna need. No, we're not. We're gonna need it in this other spot. I don't remember where I'm putting these things. I think we should have a script up here where these things live, but I've never done that yet. Never done that in this one. They're all attached to this county info panel, but the county info panel actually would be open. No, because this could be happening. You currently can't close the county info panel because that's just an oversight on my part. It has to be. I need to add that in where you can close it. It currently, once you open it, you're fucked and it's open forever. But this has been a plan for a long time to create a script on here. So I think this is where it should be. We're gonna do a new script, and we're gonna put it in UI here. And then it's basically just going to be a list of UI panels that other things are going to access. And then, oh, I do need that ready that I got rid of. Public, what is this thing? Battle log. No, it's a public control, battle log control. And then we're going to do override void ready. All right, it did it for me. And then we'll build this. And we'll assign this. And then we'll test this. Oh, well, I didn't add any code. Low level learning. Thank you for the follow. Dehydrated mango. How's it going? Hades, how's it going? I have a feeling like I'm not getting all my messages here. Yulfser, you're the developer of Path of Akra. Hello, all you people. I don't know where you're all coming from. It usually it tells me if I'm getting raided. Oh no, it is. It says right here, low level learning. Thank you for the raid. How's it going? I'm streaming to YouTube at the same time, and I use this chat thing, and it obviously doesn't work very well. It doesn't tell me that I'm being raided, I guess, and I probably should know that information. Ulfser, though, are you not the developer of Path of Akra? I swear that's the name of the developer of Path of Akra. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look right now. Oh, I can't look because I'm in streaming mode. It doesn't tell me their name. Just a college student. You have a similar name as the guy who developed Path of Akra. How are all you guys doing this afternoon or day, depending on where you are? Good to hear. I gotta fix this thing. Where was this? This was under battle control. We have to actually make this do something. Player, UI canvas, instance. We've got to show this. And you know what? I bet you this button on here that I copied over is not going to work. Let's fix this. Yeah, we're going to need a close button on here. That's where I want it to connect to, but we don't have a script for this yet. Random guy, how's it going? Whoops. I right-clicked on something. Owen Codes, thank you for the follow. Bozo Dev. Sorry. Thank you for the follow. Ahmad, thank you for the follow as well. Sorry, I didn't get to you guys earlier. Ulfser, thank you for the follow. I know I got sidetracked about the developer thing. So let's make sure that this thing works. It does work as we expected. I always get thrown off when I get rated. I'm like, what do I do now? So this is the actual map I got from, what's that? It's like Wiki Images or something. It's a repository of images for copyright-free images. And so, no, it's a game. It's a 2D 4X game. The plan is that it's going to be post-apocalyptic. I'm just setting up some minor, like, I don't want to do too many counties. So, like, think like Dominions 5 and CK3, any of the Paradox games, where there's counties and stuff. And so it takes place in North America. So it's going to one day have the whole North American map. But we're only using 4 counties right now for testing. And I wanted a better background than I originally had them just white, and then I colored them in, but it was so ugly that I found online better maps that actually have some terrain on them. And I don't think so that, the one idea is to have them, like have roads and move along there. I don't think I'm going to do it like that. I think I'm going to do it more like, CK2 or 3, where they just move in a straight line. And currently you can move guys around, but everything's in it's very much in its infancy. And it's just like I'm going, well, we don't want to go that way. So they'll move in a straight line right now, and I think I want to keep it in a straight line, but do include, like, I want to have it if you're traveling with less infrastructure and through mountains, you would move a lot slower. Like, this is obviously pretty fast, especially if you're moving on foot. Something weird is going on here, though. That time I remembered. But right now I'm working on. So everything's like in as simple as possible, and I'm doing like loops of the game. I've never finished one loop yet, but where I implement each thing as simple as possible. And then when I get around to everything being implemented as simple as possible, then I'm going to start adding on to that, because I'm a noob. So I'm learning as I go, and so I figured I need to know. I don't even know what I need later on. So as I do each loop, I'm learning what I need to know. Like, I don't even know what I need to know, if that makes sense. And so as I go, I'm learning what I need to know, and then when I get around one full loop, I hope that I'll be like, okay, so I already have everything that I need for the future, and I can just start adding on it. And obviously it's all very ugly too. There's no beautification process, has not started yet. And right now, yeah, exactly, Metal Storm. So right now I'm getting it so that we're gonna, like, when you go and you attack another, you enter another county that you don't own, it's gonna do some very minimalistic combat. Um, yeah, when I first started, I had grand schemes of 3D battles and things for other games, and it was so painful to do each step that I kept reducing my expectations. I have ridiculous expectations for features in this game, but I'm doing each little baby step, which, I learned from trying to do stuff where I couldn't even figure out how to move stuff, and I actually struggle to move stuff in this because I started in Unity and I switched over from Unity. Um, and it's just easier for me to start with the baby steps. I have music that you guys can't hear that I have to skip right now because it's bad. Um, so let's turn this. Oh, I got to make a copy of this button. I actually have to do this to all of these things. This button needs to be on all of these. I'm the cause of the scope creep. It's ridiculous. We were just talking earlier how I want to add like vampire factions and like old world gods and shit, and it's just so ridiculous. Like right now, it's the idea is post-apocalyptic, and it would be happening like tomorrow, so there's guns and stuff. Uh, I just keep throwing every new idea I have or chat suggests, I'm like, yeah, let's fucking add it. It's like 5 years from now we'll get to that. Um, but all right, these, did I leave all these open? No, I didn't. Okay, the button is fine. This one, well, actually the button is not fine. Let's close that thing. I bet you all of these buttons are broken. And this is not going to be how this is done. So right now I have 4 different scenes for each county, and I have to manually go through and change them all. And Chad actually suggested a while ago that I make it a inherited scene, so if I change one, the others would change. But I'm actually going to do it differently, hopefully next weekend. I will. It's the counties are going to be generated when you run the game, and I'm going to have a whole nother scene where you mess with the map editor. So I'm on my 99th episode. So, and I usually stream for about 3 hours, so like 300 hours, pretty close to that. So a pretty long time for how far I've gotten. I did switch over from whatchamacallit, Unity. So there was a new learning experience. That was like actually a pretty major setback. I didn't think it would be that bad, but it was. I'm just making sure these are connected. Might as well. You know what I also did was turned off the click thing on this. And I probably need to do that. Yeah, I didn't think it would be as hard for me to switch over. So I do. I don't want to be a part of Unity's bullshit, but also I do think the community. I've said this like a ton. I think the community is better for Godot. There's less assholes. I mean, there's still assholes, but there's less of them. And so, I was thinking about that the other day, and I was wondering if there was less assholes because there's less people. Unity has more people working on, using it. So I was like, because man, and then maybe the assholes stand out because there's like there are more assholes there, and there's the more assholes stand out just because assholes stand out. Um, that was definitely like a thought I had the other day. I was like, but there I feel like the community's better. I feel like the documentation for Godot is much worse than Unity's documentation because there's less people once again, and then also ChatGPT doesn't know what Godot 4.0 is. You know, it barely knows what that is, which is a huge bummer. But most of my questions are C# questions, so I can ask the C# equivalent. But I would not go back to Unity, and I'm kind of bummed because there's a lot of Unity developers that when Unity had to, shit itself, they talked about switching to Godot, and I would say like 90% of them stuck with Unity, and I wish they had switched to Godot because they like write tutorials and stuff. I wish they had switched to Godot and continue writing tutorials, but they, like most of them were like, well, Unity said they're fine now, so we're going to stick with Unity. And they had already, put so much time into Unity that I can see why they did that, but I kind of wish that they hadn't. We're going to need a packed scene in here as well. So I'm going to put this packed scene in here now that I just thought of it. Private. This is going to be the combat log scene, which is really just a label, but that's what we're going to need. So that will open. I assume everyone in chat uses Godot. What do you guys think of Godot? And did you used to use Unity? I'm curious how many people switched over and then switched over. Then let's see. So I got to build this and put this pack scene in here. And then I think we're to the part where we got to figure out the actual battle thing happening, which is great because I said that was, I expected to get to that earlier, but everything takes longer than I assumed still. Where's my combat turn label? Then let's go back to battle control. Program, I think I actually kind of recognize your name, Random. You just use Unity? So on here, we are going to have, so at the end of this, how is this going to work? They start the battle. We're going to have, this will show, I don't want the player to have to click again. Well, let's look at this and like think how this is going to work. So we got a guy, we turn him into an army leader. We close this thing. Whoops. We spawn him. He goes over here. He declares war. I don't think I want it to pop up. So I was thinking, because now you should be able to click on this and it would pop up. I don't think I want it to pop up automatically because you might have moved on. As the guy's moving, I think it would be annoying if it popped up automatically. So what we'll do is we're going to need a timer. And we're going to need it. The timer is already there. The clock already exists, but we need it to happen every hour. So let's do this. So we're going to go battle, private void. We do have that other thing named battle. So I'm going to name this something else. We'll just name it current battle. We'll say county battle. And this is going to be a list of strings. Well, let's not even do that yet. Let's just print it to the console for now. And how that's gonna work, I gotta think. I haven't thought this far. Um, so we have the time. These are all public, I believe. So basically, every time an hour changes, we can put an event in here that was like hour changed, and then we can just have this battle subscribe to the event. And then when the battle subscribes to the event, it would just get fired automatically every hour. I think that's the easiest way to do that. And we already have this thing. We'll just put in here. Every time this is updated, we'll have a new event. We need to create an event though. Somebody was telling me not to use events the other day. Not to use them, but to understand them better before I use them all the time, because they I guess they're kind of resource. But this will only be a couple of things. This will only subscribe when a battle's happening. So I think that was the issue. Is like if you have too many unsubscribed, bad things happen. So I think we can just do, what did I call this thing? I know I just typed it in, but I already have forgotten. Hour changed. And then we should be able to, I can never forget, or I can never remember how to subscribe to shit either. Then we'll just do, oh, I got a naming thing here. And I should have just changed both of them, but then this is going to be, we're actually going to do this on ready. We're going to do, so this is the issue. If we do it this way, we would have to subscribe, when we have 500 counties, we would have to subscribe. All 500 counties would subscribe to that, which I guess isn't the end of the world. But they aren't going to be, you know what we'll do? I don't know if this is like a good thing. We'll have this thing subscribe, and this will be, and this will be right here. Then this will fire every time that thing fires, and then we'll just do like GD print here, and I like to double check that every step is working. Whoops. I saved that shit. All right, we gotta turn him into an army leader. We gotta move him. We gotta declare war. You're gonna move over here. Man, hours are going fast. That's it. That's at one. That's at the normal speed. I guess that's fine. We might want to slow down the normal speed, honestly. We could do that. I just like arbitrarily put in like 250, I think, for the tick amount, and I don't know why I'm remembering that. All right, so once this is subscribed, we're gonna do a couple of things. We're gonna need a list in here, a private list of strings, not with a capital. We're gonna call this combat logs. No, we're not. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna go over to here and put it here. And we're gonna make this public. No, we're not. We're gonna pull from this other one, depending on the county you're in. We're gonna call this combat logs, I think. And then we're gonna put this, like I said, just to every hour there's gonna be an attack. The defender is gonna attack first, and then the attacker is gonna attack. Defender always gets first shot, and this is like the simplest. Like I said, we're keeping this as simple as possible. So what we'll do is we're going to. I think what we're gonna need here actually is this needs to be up here. I think to make life easier. Would anything else be using this? I don't think it would. My memory is terrible, so I try to put as many comments in here as possible. So it's easier for me, even though, you know, it says all this stuff, it's easier for me to break shit down in my mind. So then down here, we should be able to go defender select token dot county population dot rifle skill. Yeah, so what we'll do, I was just making sure that my memory was working. We will go, we need a random thing in here. And I already forgot how to do that. Where did I use random last? Do you got a random in here? Random. Exactly, Joker. That's the right thing, right? All right, so this is, but I need the other thing. This is the thing I can't remember. Oh, okay, it's just this. Random. Then random. We're going to go defenders. No, we could just do attack roll. And it's going to be random next or whatever. And it's going to be 1, 101, I think. 1 through 100. And then we'll say if this is pretty much like the first thing that matters in all of like the programming so far. Nothing has like been like interacting with each other. It's all, well, no, I guess there's been some clicking and stuff. Why are you vomiting, Joker? If is greater than attack roll. Is it because we were talking about Unity? GD print. Defender has hit else Defender as missed. It'd be nice if we could see the defender's skill. I guess we could just print it out right here. In fact, we should do this. This is what we should do so that we can test that what we're doing is right. Give me a $sign here. Defender attack or rifle skill is gonna be this thing. What did I just get there? Yeah, I didn't want that. Defenders rifle. Now anything you miss from, I don't miss anything from Unity, I don't think. Oh, wait, I mentioned something earlier. There is one thing I miss a lot from Unity. It's only one thing. It's that you can click a button on the label and it auto shrinks or enlarges the font. And maybe that's in here somewhere. It just fits the font to the size. And you would probably know. You'd be like, oh yeah, it's this button right here. But I haven't been able to find it. That's the one thing that I miss because I feel like it. I used to use that all the time. Just fit the fucking label, the size of the font. So we have this. This is going to be hourly battle. This should happen. This is going to print out their skill. Auto size font. Is it in here somewhere? Or is it like under a theme or something? I haven't messed with themes. And then we're going to do another attack roll right here. And we're going to go like this, though. Then we're going to do the defender or the attacker shit here. And then we got one more thing here. It's funny, I was just talking to the people at Coffee about the Talking Heads, and a Talking Heads song just started. I was talking about, I think it was yesterday morning. I know you guys can't hear the music. That's kind of part of the plan here. So this should blast us down here with a bunch of shit, which is kind of what we want. I mean, it is what we want, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I need to pause it, though. We need to pause it. All right, so this looks fine. A lot of missing going on. I guess, it's not that bad. That is fine. But now we need this to be saved to this list. This is going to happen really fast. Maybe we shouldn't do it every hour. Maybe I should wait for like or I should just slow time down. Let's see how fast it is when with time slowed down that much. I don't think that did anything. Maybe the ticks are not coming from there anymore. No, that did something. All right, we'll do 100 again. It's still, I guess 250 was really fast. I wonder why I had it that fast. Probably just for testing. The problem is it's on that combat log. The shit's just gonna fly by if it's that fast. I mean, it's still like 2 seconds an hour or something. We also have to have a penalty if they hit. They need to. It needs to affect their morale temporarily. I guess I put in the cool spell the cool attribute too, and we haven't used that. It should make like a defender hit. This is what we'll do. Defender hit if no, then we'll have another roll here. Do 101. Then if attackers, there's probably an easier way to, or a better way to do this, where I just have one method for both of these. In fact, that would be better. I just turn this into a method, and then yeah. That's what we'll do real quick. How much time do I have left? 8 minutes. I guess we're not going to get very as far as I thought. That happens every time I stream. Let's turn this into a method real quick. This is what we're going to do. We need to pass in, though, a county population. And then we're going to go. And then we're going to go. We're going to do this twice, actually. We need his squigs over here, though. County population. I guess we'll put in their full name. I was thinking we wouldn't, but then I was like, what happens if by some coincidence they have the same first name? So then this is if they attack. Oh, we need the other person's. We need the person they're shooting at to also, motherfucker. We're gonna call this. This is defender. All that we just did, and then we're gonna pass in also the attacker. Population. And then the attacker. Oh, but this is going to make less sense. This is going to be this is going to actually be different. This is going to be the opposite of what's going on. This is going to be the attackers. All right, let's just copy this here. And let's go to here. Let's go to here. And then the defenders, because this is like who's getting shot at, which is the defender, even though it could be the attacker in the county. If the defender county population dot cool attribute is greater than the cool roll is less than. the cool roll. We're gonna have like a damage roll here. And damage, morale damage. Right now, they're not going to be able to kill each other, but that will obviously be the plan eventually. 1 to 100? No, let's do 1 to 20. Nope, not 200. Defender. Is that right? Defender County. Population. Morale minus. I think that's what now. Cool attribute. So if you roll a 75 and you have a 50 cool, you would have failed the roll. And so you're going to take the morale. Once again, it's as simple as possible. You're going to take the morale damage, and then we need to update that thing, which I did. We're actually in there, so it's. It's going to be very confusing to tell if it's the attacker defender. So what we'll do is we'll just update both of them. Didn't I write a little thing for that, or did I just wing it? I guess I just winged it. I should have written a little thing for this. What did I fuck up here? I need both these. And I guess we do need to, when we add it to the actual combat log, or the battle log, we'll need that there. So then if we put this, so this doesn't need to be here anymore. What we're going to do instead is we're going to go attack, and we're going to go defender, select token, and then we're going to go attacker, select token, and then so this is wrong actually. We want these backwards. This is where I said it was going to be confusing, because I have these. There's the defender of the county versus the. We should rename that. It's too confusing. County attacker, and then county defender. And then down here, we did defender and attacker. The defender is going to attack first, the defender of the county, but then they become the attacker for this method. That's what I was talking about with this confusion. And then this shit can all go away. And then we'll do, and I'm going to put a note here, because otherwise I'm not going to remember this shit. Defender attacks a county. Defender attacks county attacker. Fucking 2 weeks from now, I'm not gonna know what any of this shit means. County attacker attacks county defender. That's not confusing. And then I guess I don't need to do that. I can do this. And then we swap these here. And then let's double check this. This says attacker because we're putting in the attacker. Attacker goes, and I would actually prefer to have these swap, but now I've swapped all this shit around. I don't want to do it. The attacker's rifle skill, defender is hit. We want this. The attackers has hits. The defender takes the morale damage. And then it updates those things. So the hope here is Craig Powell. We're going to send you into attack here. I only see Craig Powell. No, they're going Amanda Baker. And then supposedly this number is going down. And it is, and it's not affected by if we're looking at it or not. So the goal is like, so once this gets to 0, they'll run away, let's say. Okay, we're going to go into the negatives, which is fine because we haven't put that logic in at all. But that's the plan. Like, so this is how I want the battles to look right now, is that obviously they have the same icons and shit. You can't tell who anyone is, which just dawned on me. So that actually works how I wanted it to. I wasn't hopeful. Let's go back to this thing and add in. We need self-modulation should be the same color as the faction. That'll help us tell the difference between who's who. We can also close a bunch of these issues. We did this. We did this. I can't believe I even got that far. I was at the beginning of this stream. I was like, oh, this will be easy. We'll get this far, and then there's more and more things I keep having to add to get to here, and then we got to here, and so I'm glad that this still needs to be done. A battle panel is there, but it's pretty half-assed at this point, so I'm going to leave that there. Battles created is there as well. When joining a battle, the sprite texture is going to show as selected if it's selected. So that's more of a note than anything else. And these are the multiple leaders and whatnot that we talked about earlier. Currently, this only works with two factions and one leader each. So that's going to have to change when in the next round when we get back to this. So this is where I'm gonna let me push this because this is open source. So probably next weekend, hopefully I'll get to where I'm generating the counties. I still have to work on that some more offline, but hopefully, if not, it'll be the weekend after that. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but battle control now shows loss, lose shows lowering of morale. And population description now has all the attributes and skills. All right. That is everything for me today. Thank you guys. Thank you for all the follows, and thank you for the raid, and I will talk to you guys next time. Have a good afternoon.